Brilliant. I need someone to identify this mode of transport by just yelling it with your voice. Mode of transport. Okay, Nat Chopper. And who had one? Who had one as a child? Right there, Tim. What color? Yellow. Mine too. That is literally, oh my gosh. So this is incredible because you feel like a Harley Davidson rider with the handlebars up like that. Well, this is awe, wonder, and curiosity all in one. So here we go. That's my bike. I've already established that. That is my childhood house. If any of you know my password to all my accounts, it's unfortunately on the screen there. So that's quite embarrassing. I hadn't thought of that until just now. So that's 821 Eaton Street. Keep repeating it, John. Well done. That's my house. We have a long driveway that is not ours. That's our driveway there with the gate. What I did with my chopper bike is I went around with my sister, who was big. She's still about a foot taller than me. And we accidentally intimidated all the neighbors. We didn't mean to. We went around and knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. That's a knee. I don't know where that came from. Sorry, here. Knock, knock, knock. And said, can we ride our bikes in your driveway? And do you know what the reaction we got? Keep in mind, my sister is very intimidating just to this day. We got the answer, absolutely. And that was great. We got to ride in everyone's driveway across this entire neighborhood. Look, so this is the funeral home here. This is where we were there. We owned Aladdin. We had a few little problems on the main road. Reddick, they were like, sort of, I was going to swear, but they were not very nice. But we basically owned this area. It was glorious. We could go anywhere on our bikes. And then Tim and Alice, they lived next door. Guess what they did? I think what you're hinting at is a word that Rob said, which is participation. They participated. They were adults that made us feel like gods. Not only did they say, I see what you're doing here, Sarah and John. You guys are protecting the street. So could you guys protect, could you guys do security patrol and just go up and down our driveway and keep them from rodents and criminals? Keep in mind, Memphis, Tennessee is one of the most dangerous cities on the planet other than Detroit. They engaged in our curiosity and we felt like the coolest people because we were paid. They paid us in ice cream to patrol the neighborhood and protect their house. And I have 3 steps to help you be more Tim and Alice. We want you and your teams to actually participate in the creativity of your younger people, and you yourself try to find your Tim and Alice's. They may actually be the owners of the company, or you may be them. I've only been allowed to talk on stages like this for the last 12 years because I have experience flying airplanes, not myself personally, but with Red Bull, down the Thames. That was a hard sell. That would be an impossible sell now. This is one of my most proud things that we created, and it was called the Art of Can. Does anybody ever remember taking aluminium, which is a tough word for an American to say, aluminum or tin? Does anybody ever remember the Art of Can for Red Bull? You basically took the cans and created all these beautiful artworks. You're going to help me do that today. The other thing I've learned, and I'm going to repeat Dr. Zach, is about emotion. And everyone has an emotion, whether positive or negative, around dogs. So this company, this big festival, possibly the largest marketing and tech festival in the world, South by Southwest, I'm heavily involved, and I love helping them with experiential marketing ideas. What was this in aid of? St. Bernard puppies and free beer. I don't know, it doesn't have to be in aid of anything, because I just love it. But anybody guess? How is this a great experience? Because at a festival, you basically run out of power very quickly. And what better than going up to a St. Bernard and putting your phone around its little cubby hole right by its neck. It was very popular, and again, it tapped into the emotion. That emotional space is where I want you guys to be. I was able to launch my book at South by Southwest because I found a crew that were into this really crazy thing. I've watched a couple of you, and you're on your phones. At South by, everyone's on their phones the whole time because that's where Twitter launched. Everyone was engaged, but engaged with this black rectangle because they were trying to create conversation out of the nuggets, hopefully, that you were spouting. This is what the real-time social media thing is. What excites me to no end about curiosity, because kids aren't afraid to be emotional, because they have dropped what you guys have, and what you guys, including me, have, is assumptions. We assume that it has to be this way. Kids don't assume anything. What happens when you assume? My mother, even though she's a sweet little Southern lady, she would even swear and say it makes an ass out of you and me, as you know. And these are the three things you're going to take away. You're definitely going to go into meetings questioning more. You're going to say, whoa, 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 stop talking. We just want to give this a little go. We're just going to try a tiny little experiment. We're going to start small. And then the encouraging thing is crucial, which we'll get to into the end. You need to not forget that none of these are worth it if you don't have people in your C-suite that are encouraging this. And I genuinely believe this red X has come up on the screen because this is hard. This is tricky, and it's mainly fear. But fear is what's stopping us. I have to show you some data to prove everything I'm saying. But I've had a lot of bosses, because I've worked in content, social media, and strategy, and they are just about results. And they do get about 14% success when they focus on results only. So that's pretty good. Is it? Hell no. What happens if you energize and do results? It moves up to 72%. I do a whole kind of thing on this thing called dynamic difference, which is trying to find the little spark to get that energy going. And I think it's crucial, especially, I would say it's actually more crucial when you run events, to be fair, because you have to bring people along and mobilize them and energize them with the journey of this event. So you guys need this more than the social media team, for example, I feel. Metro, MPG have literally done a whole day, I think, on 1 and 3. I think it's about creativity. You've heard Rob, you've heard Dr. Zach, you've heard Andy. It's 1 and 3, and I want to focus on the orange one a little bit. And I also want to find out what we can stomp on. Because I want to stomp on something that's stopping your curiosity. And I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. Someone is throwing one of these disgusting shoes with holes in it. Does he even know that this is actually a brand? Do you guys know this brand? I've been making fun of them for years, and now I have to embrace them because they've literally invented influencer marketing. I mean, they're just insane. Global amazingness now. But someone has thrown one of these into your curiosity machines, and it all started, as some bad things do, in France. No, that's rude. In France, the Netherlands, Belgium, and Italy, they had these machines, and when the workers got disgruntled, they threw these sabots. That's coming to you, Liz. Oh my God, it got there. Can I try that one more time in slow-mo? Did you get that in slow-mo? They threw sabots into the machine. So who is ruining? I wish we could come up with like a word that had sabot and ruining in it, like saboting, or can someone help me here? Exactly. Sabotage. It's one of my favorite words now that I know it's actually a bunch of French people throwing clogs. Because it's basically sabotage. Someone has thrown a sabot into your curiosity machine, and we're going to stop it. But I need the weak of stomach to look away now, and literally look away. You will never be able to unsee this. Because somebody was so curious that they decided to experiment only and do a TikTok page on experimentations with that shoe with the holes in it. And it's just not even watchable. Oh, that is so painful to watch. I'm sorry, but I don't do that. And I hate to admit it, the boss would say to that is I need to know the ROI of putting shaving cream in a clog. And my curiosity brain says, did that get people's reaction? Was some of it good? Was some of it bad? Sometimes we have to Marmite things. And I hate to admit it, some people love that. How many of you love the shaving cream thing? Kelly and I... Okay, no. So how many hate it? How many of you like, because this is ASMR thing that makes people just literally cringe. This whole side is like cringing, and they'll leave. I mean, if you really cringe, you'll never want to see me again, because it's honestly the visceral response to that. Again, I would say ROI, and you may have heard of this, even though I thought I made it up this morning, and that is the risk of ignoring. But I hate to admit it working in social media because I have to be retrained by my interns every 63 days. Because there's a new filter, there's a new this, there's a new, oh no, John, you can't do that. Often I am just left flabbergasted and I'm like, you're trying to sabotage my curiosity here. And they're like, no, John, we're trying to help you not look like an idiot. Skills, average half-life, less than 5 years, but some of you work in the world of technology, less than 2.5 years. We basically have to redo events. The questioning happens when you're passionately curious, and oh, I get so excited. Ideas come from this playfulness, this curiosity. That's why half of you are going to compete against the other half of you and build something magical. Greatest invention in the world. What? I don't know. It's my slide, but still. What is the greatest invention in the world? Thomas Edison said this. Our Rob, who was sitting on this exact chair talking to this woman right here, said it. The hint was eyes wide open. What did Rob Riley say? Because he literally said it. It's the mind of a child. That is the greatest invention according to Thomas Edison. That excites me. I have had a 4-year-old female in my house called my daughter. She's now 17. She was incessant. Does any of you have the most curious animal in your home or have had a 4-year-old daughter before? Yep. One person raise your hand so I can just focus on an individual. That was just a scratch. Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay, cool. How many questions a day? Billions. How many questions an hour? Millions.
I almost went trillion.
No, down, yeah. Brilliant, absolutely. And I would love for us to come up with what the Telegraph said was the average, which is like 212, which I think is actually more like 400. It's interrogating like a toddler. I actually, in my workshops, call it something different. I call it the beginner's mind. We're all experts. We're all experts in our field. It's that you wouldn't be here if you're not an expert in your field. But you need to leave that mind at the door. Beginner's mind, a lot of possibilities. Expert's mind, not so many. In fact, very few. So, how are we going to adopt a beginner's mindset? Well, you're going to get out of your chair and have some fun. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have some fun. We're going to move it. We're going to basically get you up, get you active, get you creating something. If you're curious, is we had to start small. I remember I said, I tried to get their attention, and no word of a lie, before I could even get someone's attention, this space was so playful. It was almost, Liz, it was almost as if you were giving people permission to just be stupid. Someone, without me even suggesting it, even though I think there had been a hint, did someone earlier in the morning, like them kids or something, mention slides? I think someone mentioned, yeah. A video of kids with slides, yeah. Because someone just was like, out of my way, sweaty American man, and literally took the beanbag and slid the entire length. If you are curious, those non-captains, is I said, how much do you want? I'm not even sure people knew what I was talking about. And I said, do you want this much? And they were like, that's what a kid would do. I want this much. How tall are you? How old are you? I'm this much. And I said, do you want that much? And then I literally dispensed that exact much in tinfoil. I am already predicting that we have, I'll call it aluminum, but aluminium. We got the aluminimalists against the alu-maximalists. So you guys have to create a maximum thing, and you guys have to create a smaller thing that works better, if you so choose. So again, size, go for it, crazy, whatever this thing is. Smaller, more intricate details, a better machine. We made tinfoil jetpacks as the whole crew. Now, who wins this photo? Let me show you who wins. Because someone, I hate to pick on her again, someone said, this is the brief, John? I don't care. I'm going to do something better. There was one person that said, John, you said, what is a monogamous word? And we said, we don't know. And you said, it's a word that can't cheat on any other words. Does anybody know an example of a monogamous word? I'll give you one. It was my kill switch when I worked at an agency. When the meeting, the brainstorming was going crazy and we were getting nowhere and the highest person in the room that was paid would basically say, no, we can't do it. This word was uttered, and you can only think of one word when I say this word. I'm going to say it, and you tell me what you think of. Pineapple. I bet you anything in your brains is a fruit. Is it no way to, because it has to be. It's a monogamous word. The term jetpack is a monogamous word. And jetpack means escaping to infinity and beyond. And that is your new word. Jetpack, your bosses are going to know what that means. So if you have a brainstorm that's not going well, look at your colleagues and just say, this is totally 10-packed. That means 10 jetpack, 10-packed. They won't know what it means. They'll be thinking you're talking about your stomach. So if it's 10-packed, it's not becoming creative and curious anymore. You've lost the plot. Come back and start again tomorrow. I honestly have used this term. I made up 10-packed today, but I've used pineapple, and it does work, because sometimes meetings are just going round. Here we go. That was our brief. This was my inspiration for the guys. I loved this, which I didn't get to talk about to them. There's a lot of jetpacks. They didn't need that. They created their own designs. They were interactive. They had to work together. I said you can have this much, and it wasn't enough, so they ended up having about 4 times as much. That's okay. We rewrote the rules. Kelly made a pineapple Viking hat and a wand and said, literally, screw you to the brief, is I want you to basically never go to a meeting without a, wait for it, prototype. A picture is worth 1,000 words. A prototype is worth 1,000 meetings. I know, because I've been in a brainstorm with Liz, that these visuals really helped. And then actually making something, sometimes out of Lego, really, really helps. And it saves you 1,000 more meetings. This is what kids would do. This is what we have to do. I genuinely believe that. This is an example of a prototype. You recognize it? Anyone? And Steve Jobs said, I love that. Xerox Research Center was literally had one of these things next to their computer. And it was basically showing you where the X and Y axis was. And it was moving this cursor. And he was like, that is an awful, awful thing, Xerox. He went to his designer and said, make it work on blue jeans and make it work on my Formica table at home. So what did he do? He went out and bought every deodorant with a metal ball in it that he could find, every Walgreens in California. He bought them all and created the mouse. The mouse, even though it's odd, like, don't you think in the world we live in, a mouse is just weird? But mouses are still, mice, if you call them that, are still being used. And according to the best ever named data company, Mousatron, a typical mouse travels 1 mile a week and 12,672 inches per day in regular 1 and 2 inch intervals. I think that's amazing. That's a little curious fact for you you'll never be able to use. Now, I need everyone to stand up because it's the interactive bit for the last 20 minutes. This will be so not painful, so not painful. So again, I want you to summon, I'm just gonna have a tiny meditation here because I'm gonna summon the spirit of Buzz Lightyear to infinity and beyond to really try to get your curiosity really moving. I'm going to let you know that every idea is going to be one of these. None, 0, even though I printed out my business card on it, 0 of your ideas are going to be the brown thing. 0. Anything's possible. And just to inspire you, can you remind me of your name?
Sam.
Sam. Could you come up on the massive stage? Careful, it's a big climb. Could you get my lightsaber? So, I stand for the minimalists, can't say that, 10 minimal, and user 10 maximal. You guys, can you turn it on? You guys are going to just build a big thing out of tinfoil, and you're going to have to work together and then struggle. So you guys, it's just about size. You guys, it's about technical features and like just intricacies of design. It's not always size that matters. Look at this. Let's have a quick little fight just for the cameras. Be nice. And he said that's actually heavy. I'll hold that just because I don't trust you to steal it. Thank you.
They can dream up. Thank you, Bobby. They dream up things like this.
This was at South by Southwest. I went mental. This was done by, as I know you work in events, so you know how it is done, but it was done because they had projection people in the back and projection people in the front.
I still cannot
and it was
believe
just
that
magic.
This thing exists, but it does.
Oh,
like I
went
said,
mental.
I have the coolest job in the world. I'm holding a real lightsaber right now.
This is real.
Now, this one is part of our Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser experience.
All right, that's enough of you, Tim. So, again, what I want you to do is create wonder and create awe. Wonder is, oh my gosh, that's incredible. I have so many questions. How did you do that? Awe is like, yeah, you guys created a big freaking machine, but you guys created one that cooks breakfast or does something magical. I mean, we're going to drop our jaws with you minimalists on what you guys are going to create. I love teasing this because you still have no idea, Liz, what they're creating. Like, how annoying is that? Rather. Thanks. I just got a nod as in get on with it. Okay, again, I want it to be awe-inspiring like your last cold swim in the sea. I want it to be that awe-inspiring. And awe is necessary because it's jaw-dropping. What you guys are going to do as a team is you're going to think, I'm going to use my skills. I'm going to have a beginner mindset. I know nothing about this until Kelly starts talking with Liz and others. But even though I've never actually ridden one of these, I'm going to just approach this full on, just like me being a big deal in the Balkans before COVID, and I have learned 13 different wedding dances from the Balkans. I'll even show you. Just get into it. This assignment of building the best, biggest roller coaster out of tinfoil, you just got to get into it. In the 16 minutes we have left, you guys are going to get this tinfoil, and you guys, watch this, Liz, going to get that tinfoil. And you are going to create, and you're going to have to hold it up because you're going to have to, they're not magic. They don't stay in the air. They have to be held up roller coasters. You are creating, and I have one ball that's going to test to see whether your small, intricate machine and your big-ass machine actually works. The ball has to go from the top all the way to the bottom for you to pass this test.
A few moments later.
Everyone cross your fingers. This could be huge. Oh, there's music! Oh, please, please. Oh my, this is why people are better than balloons. This is literally why people are better than balloons. Holy cow, this is actually going to happen. This is going to happen. I'm so nervous. Someone hold me. Oh, it's going to go. It's going to go. Please, please, please. Yeah! I cannot believe it. Everyone have a seat. Everyone have a seat. We got 1 minute. The most incredible curiosity is around building something. I hate to admit it, even those of you who failed, even though it was a brilliant failure, you still feel accomplished. You're basically like little Lego people. You're doing something that feels wrong in a business. Like for Red Bull, we went to the Natural History Museum and took it over with skateboarders jumping over dinosaur bones. You have done experiments. You've questioned the validity of your designs and you've improved it. You now have to turn red flags into green flags. That means all the negativity you get, you've got to find positivity and find a way to encourage this. And again, I want you to know that the thing you're going to get in return is happier people. 72% of bosses who energize as well as being results focused, that's 72% more successful rather than 14. I am sweating. I am exhilarated by this. You exhilarate me. I need to take a shower before this next panel. Again, what we have here, I want you to be free from time-bound perfectionism. I want you to leave your own comfort zones of I'm an amazing expert at X and adopt a beginner's mindset instead. And again, AI ain't going to kill us. We're going to use it. We're going to be creative. It's going to help us. And everything you've done here is flexing a muscle. And thank you very much. I'm out.